Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for January 29th, 2016. With your host, Space 2448 and Rapid Epsilon.
Still don't understand why I dropped 300 frames at the beginning for no discernible reason whatsoever.
Because Twitch be dumb at sometimes. And OBS be dumb sometimes. And internet be dumb sometimes. And just things don't go well sometimes.
Like, I do like
Sometimes.
you did. Watch the kilobytes go to normal rates. Yeah. Gets up to 1400, start dropping frames. Immediately drops down to 800. Continues to drop frames. Gets up to 300 dropped frames. I'm like, screw it. Try that again. So meanwhile, everyone got to see what the title was early. By like a minute.
Yep.
Oh well.
Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna get to that one soon-ish.
That will make sense. And of course I flub it too. I forgot to switch over to the TGS when the intro was ending. So everyone got to see that I use VLC for the intro. Big shock there.
Yep.
Just not my day.
So, we've got literally 4 things to talk about because that's like the only 4 important or really important talkative things I found. You know, besides that Smash rumor that I think people have blown way out of proportions because, look, we all agreed it's a port, right? Right. If you don't agree it's a port, can I ask why? And can you give me at least 2 legitimate reasons why it's not a port?
Okay. 1, because Nintendo's trying to be like Activision, and 2, because we need yearly Smashes.
If they were going to have yearly Smashes...
Last year should have been one. I know.
Uh-huh.
I know.
Yeah.
I just gotta give the internet dumb ideas.
Also, if they were going to be like Activision, why don't we have more Mii costumes in stages?
To be fair, if they were going to be more like Activision, each character should have customizable outfits.
Yep. And moves, because they don't have custom moves either.
The characters kind of can.
Anyway. Anything interesting you've been playing the last couple weeks?
Outside of what we've had to play for recording stuff and what we fought with, looking at you, Ocarina. No.
I'm in the same boat, and it's honestly because I've just now returned to college for the semester, and that has been the major part of my last couple weeks. So my schedule has not really stabilized to the point where I can find time to play something right now. Nope, not really. Especially when I can't play Splatoon online because, can't find out how to make that virtual router work. I might have found a way, but it's a really complicated multi-step process to get it to work.
Did you ever ask to see if there was like special proxy settings for it or anything?
Nope. I haven't done that yet.
Because that could be the easier, right?
Well, what's easier, following this multi-step process to get this virtual router to work with my Wii U, or going to ask somebody and maybe getting an answer? Keyword being maybe.
Yeah, but if you get an answer, then maybe it'd be easier.
I'd rather just sit down and do this 11-step process because it honestly probably won't take that long. Plus, I have to walk to the library to get an answer because that's where tech support is. I believe tech support's in the library.
You hope.
If not, fuck it. I ain't walking that much. I walk enough between classes and to get food at the student union. I'm not walking any more than I need to. Especially if I'm going to go to fucking bitch at tech support, be like, yo, can I get my Wii U hooked up to the internet, yo? So I can play some online games, because, that's what I would like to do in my downtime.
Online games is awesome.
I will say, I have been reading Halo Hunters into the Dark, or Hunters in the Dark, one of the Halo novels from last year. I have enjoyed it so far. I want to say I'm like 8 chapters in. The book is not within easy reach of me at the moment, so I'm not going to go dig for it. It's in my backpack behind me, but that's out of immediate reach. I literally have to get up and get it. And I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing it just to grab the book, just to check what chapter I'm past. But for those wondering what Hunters in the Dark is, it is the Halo novel from last year that is set 2 years after Halo 3. So we are kind of just now coming out of the aftermath of the end of the Covenant War. And tensions are still kind of high because it's like, hey, the elites are friends with us. But, they kind of killed a lot of people. Like a lot of people. And we killed a lot of their people. And, there's still like uneasiness on both sides to this whole alliance. And, what doesn't help this is like, oh, by the way, all the Halos are now on a countdown because someone decided to flip the switch on the Ark to make them all go off in like 3 weeks. So we kind of need to get back to the Ark somehow because, the portal's closed and we haven't reopened it in 2 years because we don't know how to turn it on because we, A, don't have the ship to turn it on to begin with, and B, we barely understand Forerunner technology as we do now.
And C, we weren't the ones that turned it on to begin with.
Yep. Hell, we didn't know this sumbitch was here until they started fucking wrecking shit and then covered it for us, so...
Well, you know what you do?
Yeah.
You know what you do?
What?
You hijack a Covenant ship, you completely wreck a city, turn it inside out, and then there you go. You're on the Ark. That's what worked the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta get to the Ark, find out who the fuck made the Halos go live, and stop it, because we kinda don't want to die.
Ooh, pick me. Spark. He's alive again.
Nope, it's not Spark. I know it's not Spark, because here's the thing, I'm totally spoiled on, like, all of the Halo novels that came out last year, because, Halo Canon, I watched all his reviews of the Halo novels. Which, by the way, at least from his perspective, all of the Halo novels were good last year. So that's New Blood, Hunters, Last Light, and Shadow of Intent. All of them were good. So, yeah. Also, all of them deal with, like current characters in fiction, or in Halo fiction. All of them. Because this book, not only for those of you who like Halo 5 and like Olympia Vale of Team Osiris, this is the book that introduces her. She is essentially brought on to the team to play peacekeeper between the two groups, because this is a Sangheili human team up. Because, the UNSC find out about this first, and they're like, we don't know what we're doing. We might want to contact the elites and ask them, like, hey, we kind of need help with this. And the Arbiter's here for, like, 2 minutes to go, yo, I need one of you to go do this. And the person he says you to is one of the 2 playable characters from Halo 3. They're the Halo 3 co-op.
Ah.
And the other one from Halo 3 co-op is also on board for this mission. So you get 3 characters that you've gotten to play as in Halo in one book. And 2 of them actually get more expanded time. And you get to know them as they're the 2 leading the team.
Instead of just Elite A and Elite B.
Yeah.
Like they were in Halo 3.
Yeah. I mean, hell, we get like a couple names for some of the crew members for the elite ship. We also get the name for a engineer that's also a part of the team. Drifts randomly. That is literally his name.
Wow.
Yep, that's his name.
Wow. The creative juices were flowing for that one.
Well, he also has speaking lines. So we do get to hear an engineer speak, and I will say he is fantastic. Just imagine that, like, standard stereotypical AI talk that that's prevalent in fiction, and that's pretty much what you get out of the engineer. It's also fantastic because like he gets the portal open for them, and like people ask him, it's like, how'd you do it? And he's like, I fixed it. And they're like, how did you fix it? I don't know, I just fix. Because here's the thing about the engineers. They were bred to fix things for the Forerunners. They don't know how they exactly fix things. They just fix it. Because they're kind of a biological, or like how they fix things is also kind of biological as much as it like is technical. So them fixing things is complicated. So to ask an engineer how he fixes something is a very hard question to answer. He kind of just fixes it.
Well then.
Yeah. But I've enjoyed it. I'm to the point where they've just now gotten on the Ark, and by gotten on the Ark, I mean when they initially opened the portal, a big ass Sentinel robot came in and started digging shit up, and they kind of blew it up after it was starting to dig shit up, and you know it attacked it in turn. And the UNSC was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! We know we're on the clock here, but we're not going to go through that portal when that thing came out at us." And lo and behold, the main elite, I forgot which one it is, but one of the two elites from Halo 3, like, calls a meeting on his ship and, you know, is like, hey, we need to go through that portal because, you know, we're on the clock. And the UNSC commander in charge is like, we need to wait for command to assess the situation before we go in, and we gotta wait for reinforcements. And he's like, okay, hang on. Immediately flies off into the portal with everyone on board. And I'm like, this is perfect. Because he says it so nonchalantly too in the book. It's just like, hang on. And they just immediately take off. And no one attempts to stop them. Like inside the ship, one of the Spartans like pulls a gun on the elite and is just like, turn us around now. And then the engineer just so effortlessly like removes the gun from his hand. But the other elite just catches it, and it's like, would anyone else like to try to pull a gun? Because the engineer will just as effortlessly disarm the rest of you as well. So I suggest you take a seat. So yeah, I've enjoyed Hunters in the Dark. I also have Last Light on me right now, but I'm gonna get to that once I finish Hunters. So yeah, it's a good read. I mean, we have 2 Spartans in here because I think almost all of the Halo novels have at least 1 Spartan in them. I think New Blood doesn't, but that's because it has a large cast of returning characters, because it pretty much has the entire main cast of ODST return for that book. So it's kind of no surprise that I don't think there's a Spartan in there. But the rest of them have at least 1 Spartan. We have like 2 Spartan Force in here, and one of them is relevant, the other one not so much.
Well then.
Yeah. And it's 2 people I don't think will ever get referenced again. Which is funny because one of them's on the cover. Yeah, that's the closest I've come to gaming in the last couple weeks, was just reading the book. After I picked it up at the Books A Million. Because I picked them up both. I picked both of them up there. It was I forgot how much it was, but it was I wouldn't say it was cheap, but it was, I guess, standard novel prices. For those wondering, those are the only 2 books from last year that are physically released. There are 2, the other 2 I mentioned are digitally released, except Halo New Blood will be getting a physical release in March, which I am totally picking that up in March because that was the one novel I really wanted to read to begin with. Because that is the ODST continuation novel, where we also find out how Buck became a Spartan.
Huh.
Yeah, if you're wondering, like, when did Buck decide to become a Spartan, and also where the fuck is the rest of the ODST team? New Blood tells you. And it does tell you everyone, including the rookie. Like, the rookie is a character in the book.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. I think even the engineer and Sadie, I think, is her name, or even in the book. Like, everyone from ODST is in this book. That was a prominent character in that game. Like, it might as well be titled Halo ODST New Blood. Because it's the one with the hardest connections to to any previous game. Because, like, Shadow Intent, it just focuses on I forgot his name, but the guy who was the captain of the Shadow Intent in Halo 3. Like, the guy with, like, half his jaws missing. Like, it's a story of his ship, like, I think sometime after Halo 4. Yeah, I think it's sometime after Halo 4. We also get to, like, see a female elite in action in that book. Oh, wait, no, it's before Halo 4. Now I remember, it's before Halo 4. And Last Light is, I think, just a book that has a story about Blue Team in between Halos 3 and 4. It just tells, like, what Blue Team's been up to, or just a random story about Blue Team and what an adventure they got into before Halo 4. I think is the best way to sum up Last Light in terms of its connections. And then Hunters in the Dark, like I said, it has 2 characters that were barely mentioned in Halo 3 and Olympia Vale that will go on to Halo 5, and that's really it. Like, Arbiter is at best a cameo in the book. So yeah, honestly, I have nothing else. Besides complaining about Gerard and Alex being both good and terrible at fucking LA Noire sometimes.
Yeah.
They're good because they're acing the cases, which is fantastic. Terrible because, my God, did they not understand the audio cues at times. So yeah, guess we could just go on the articles now.
Well then.
So, all right, we all like Platinum Games, right?
Yeah.
Well, we found out their next game, and it's another adaptation. This time, they're going to be doing a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, and it has 4-player online co-op. And it is getting one of the IDW writers on to write the story for this game. Which, for those who don't know, IDW is the current publishers of Turtles comics. So if you're looking for Turtles comics, go look up IDW. They're the ones doing them. And as far as I know, they've been doing a good job recently. They're also the ones responsible for all of the recent Transformers comics. And a lot of other comics based off properties, because they're kind of the company that does that. They're like the Telltale of comics. As weird as that might sound. Will be coming Xbox One, 360, PS4, PS3, and PC. And we have a fancy smancy trailer that gives us a first look at the gameplay. Stop it. Trying to get queued up and it just keeps wanting to play. So we queued up and ready.
Well, I can't go full screen. Yes.
All right, take a look at this TMNT Platinum Games trailer in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I'm just gonna say this right off the bat. That's some serious popping on those ninjas. With like no effects.
Yeah.
It's the only bad thing I've seen in this trailer. Because I've watched this trailer before.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks really good. I kind of like that. It's got a little bit of the new cartoon in it. Because I feel like I see that in the faces, but it looks very much like a comic inspired Turtles game.
Yeah.
And the environments even have a little bit of cartoon in it, but it's very much a comic inspired Turtles game, which I dig because
it's almost as if it's kind of supposed to go more along with the comics, but I would have to think due to the nature of it being more 3D-esque that really the only good assets to go off of would be because of the show. So maybe that's why that combination's there.
Yeah. Which, here's the thing. We've gotten a 3D Turtles game based off the show, and it was garbage. Absolute garbage.
Well, you know why.
So it's probably a good thing.
Platinum didn't do it.
Yes, and it also tried to tie into the movie that was coming out, and it did a terrible job of it. It was weird. It was trying to tie into the movie and the TV show that had nothing to do with each other at the same time. It is just like, what the fuck? And it played terribly too. So yeah, honestly, this game looks good. Granted, Platinum is near perfect.
Near.
So near perfect. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna let go of that Legend of Korra game.
Yeah, near needs to be that thing that everyone remembers.
Yeah, Platinum, you're not perfect anymore. You're not. Yeah, you had one bad game.
Now, as long as they don't pull what I've seen Ubisoft do at times. Because, like, Ubisoft has very few bad games. They just have more on the bad for them kind of games. And, yeah. They tend to get in a habit where that repeats, and I hope Platinum's not the same way. Like, I hope they learn from their mistakes and know what they don't need to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's going to be one of those that I have a funny feeling they're going to have to overcome. Because a lot of people are going to be like, well...
Well... Honestly, it looks good. Also, I think this is Platinum's first foray in the multiplayer, really. They haven't really... If they've done multiplayer games, it's been like the very small percentage of their catalog. So it'll be interesting to see how they pull that off. All I'm gonna say is a 4-player platinum game. Ugh.
Okay.
Mm.
To this, I'm gonna say Activision's helping publish it, correct?
Believe so. There are no other credits on this.
Because I know in update 1 it's saying Activision sent the official trailer release.
Yeah, I believe Activision's publishing it. Let me check the credits at the end of the trailer.
So if that's the case, then I'm not as sketchy on multiplayer part of it, because at least Activision's had experience.
Yeah.
So maybe they can kind of help buffer that end of it. But yeah.
Yeah, it should be good. I hope it's good because I'm like, we need a multiplayer platinum game just for the fun of it. So Platinum Games knows how to make some fun games. Like I have Wonderful 101 and I love Wonderful 101. I also love how entrenched in Sentai tropes it is and how hilarious it is. And just how also over the top it is. I'm just like, this is perfect. This is perfect. The gameplay might be a bit weird at times, but you know what? It's fucking perfect.
Gameplay, in all seriousness, for Wonderful 101 is weird.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, it kind of is, no, it is. It fully embraces it is, but it works for it, I feel.
Yeah, like the weirdest part is once you get later on in the game and you get like access to all these different weapons you have access to, and having to like swap between them on the fly is tricky. Like super tricky because some of them are very close and it's super easy to transition from one to the other. And it's like, I want bomb, not hammer.
Hammer, not bomb.
Yeah. And they're similar shapes that you have to draw. So yeah. Anyway, should we talk about some Five Nights? Because we haven't talked about Five Nights in a long time.
Don't you mean Three Nights at World?
Yeah. You know, Five Nights World. That RPG that I haven't seen a lot of the story stuff. I think I'm just gonna wait for Matt Pat and crew to just publish their game theory video on it. Just to find out what the fuck's going on in the game. I know who's I believe supposed to be the final boss of the game, and it's like, oh, we breaking some fourth walls here, aren't we? Well then, all right. But anyway, Five Nights World has been pulled off Steam. Refunds have been issued, and the game is going to be coming back out for free for anyone to pick up
on Game Jolt.
Yep. So yeah, for those of you looking to hop into the Five Nights experience, you can now experience a Five Nights game for free.
Because Scott had to rush it.
Yep, because that's what Scott does.
However, okay, everyone was giving it a lot of hatred when it first came out because it felt unfinished and it lacked a lot of the RPG elements that it needed, from what I understand. But in light of what he did, he kind of has earned a little bit of respect from me. Because he came flat out and said, look, this is the first time I even felt like I rushed this. And here he is making it right. He could have just as easily been like, okay, all you suckers bought the game. Ha ha, you lose money. It's mine now. But he's like, no, this isn't right. I screwed up. I'm going to fix it. So I kind of give him credit for that one. Granted, he don't really need the money anyhow. because we all know that he's made more than enough off of the games. But yeah, he has kind of earned some respect there, in my opinion.
Yeah, and also the novel's been out since last month. I haven't heard anything about the novel yet. I wonder if Game Theory is going to tackle the novel as well, since they do a lot of Five Nights stuff.
I don't know.
Well, according to Scott, the novel is a very more an easier way of telling the story of Five Nights, because the game's kind of got complicated with the story, and as Pat's last video on Five Nights showed, the ultimate story of Five Nights at Freddy's may not be satisfying for a lot of people. And that might have been the intention. Have you heard about that? Oh, it's all a dream. It's been a dream the entire time. Yeah. Scott pointed out some very specific details people have been missing, and once those were correlated with what was seen in Five Nights 4, well, everything started to make sense.
It makes sense with that, actually, though.
Uh-huh. That's what the box at the end of Five Nights 4 is.
And that kind of... To be fair, that kind of explains the progression and regression that we've saw for different elements of the first 3 games.
Yep.
Because, case in point, why did the animatronics look newer in the second one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That makes a lot more sense, and it explains so much.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, Five Nights World is another high profile game that got pulled off Steam because of issues. Arkham Knight being the other one, so I guess developers are being a lot more aware of when their games might be a little too busted for release and are willing to back off and go, yeah, we're gonna do right by the customer. Which I go, yes, we need this so much. We need more awareness of we need to do right by customers when we are in the wrong. The important thing that they're being when we are in the wrong from the people publishing the stuff. We don't need to do right by the customers all the time. Just when you fucked up. When you fucked up, you need to do right by the customers. As a 100% honest about pizza delivery people and waiters, yeah, the customer is not always right.
Yeah.
Sometimes the customer is an asshole. We just need the balance there. Alright. So, ready for a kind of pointless article, but you could probably lead to a bigger discussion about the certain convention. I lost the word there for a second. Anyway, E3 will not have EA be attending it. They will instead be doing a press conference across the street.
Woohoo!
They're going to have a private...
no pointless press conference about sports titles, because it's literally about the only thing EA's been able to pull off.
Excuse me, it's not a press conference. It's a private event called EA Play, and it'll be directly across the street from the LA Convention Center where E3 will be held. And they're also holding an event in London at the same time. Okay, let's be honest here. A lot of people have been moving away from E3. Why? Because it's a lot easier to release information about your games and to hype it up these days than it used to be. I mean, let's face it, Nintendo essentially showed for multiple years in a row that they don't need an extravagant press conference to get people excited for their games.
Yeah.
They've literally been doing a monthly event called Nintendo, their own monthly press conference called Nintendo Direct that has done the job of E3 month after month and kept people informed of their products and hyped about their products.
Except for when they tried to do a Nintendo Direct right before E3 this past year and proceeded to break the eShop for what, 2 days straight there?
Yeah, well, there's that. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, yes, E3 is supposed to be the big super convention where all this cool stuff's announced. But here's the thing: people are announcing shit long before that. So E3 is losing its luster, but that's because we're spreading out all of the content that would be announced at E3 just over the course of the year. Which, to be honest, is a better thing. Instead of having an information overload at E3, we get more sporadic news and get to enjoy and savor news about games a little bit more. Instead of going, oh my god, Nintendo's got this stuff, and Sony's got this stuff, and Microsoft get this stuff, and then these other people got this stuff, and
you know what I think?
A lot of stuff.
You know what I think is going to boil down?
What?
By the end of this? I think E3 is going to more turn into console based. Like for the console releases.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, yeah, that seems to be the one thing that's always saved up for E3 no matter what, is the consoles. Granted, Microsoft were the first ones to break that with their pre-Xbox One event, or the pre-3 Xbox One event, but we all know how that one turned out. People were shitting on that event for weeks as we went into E3.
It's like, honestly, though, think about it. You got really, in terms of gaming consoles, 2 times of the year that you really even have a shot at throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
The one being the obvious, E3. The other one, CES. But that's more for tech in general.
Yeah, CES is not really a gaming event.
So, while the new console might be something, you're not going to get as big of a draw there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I foresee E3 turning into, we're going to release a console, we're going to save that for them. Otherwise, E3, if we do a press conference, it's just going to talk about different games we've got, and all that'll be on demo.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, E3 is fantastic for finally getting to see some games demoed for the first time and get to see them running, but in terms of announcements, I don't think E3's been that big for the last couple of years.
I think Bethesda probably hit the money last year, but other than that, yeah, I think everything else we pretty much either one knew or two could guess.
Yeah, like the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Halo 5.
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefront we even knew about beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of the major hitters we either already knew or could guess was going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's not really been the thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, shall we talk about the last thing we have on the slate?
Do we have to?
Yes.
I mean, we could just skip it. I mean, the title doesn't say we have to talk about this. Oh, wait,
Yes,
it does.
Okay. Okay, folks. All right. Time for a little history lesson because there needs to be a little history attached to this. All right. Way back in the day, there was a tech demo about a facially mocapped Pikachu and a detective game. This was a few years ago. This was legitimately a thing. Now, that game, like, quickly disappeared and no one talked about it until a couple days ago when, as a part of the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, we get the announcement of a new 3DS title. And it's this. Detective Pikachu, Birth of a New Duo. And in case you're wondering, it's as dumb as it sounds, but oh god, is it my kind of dumb.
And I'm assuming we're watching the trailer.
Yes! You need to see this trailer. You have not seen this trailer, have you?
Nope.
Oh, you need to see this trailer!
And is this coming stateside?
No announcements of stateside release just yet, I don't think.
Well,
it will be a digital title.
If that's the case, then they're kind of dropping the ball right now. Because this is coming out literally in, 5 days?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's because they probably don't have an English voice cast or a localization of the game up and running yet. Plus, they probably want to see how this game performs in Japan first before they even remotely decide to release it in America and the rest of the world.
But I mean, it's Detective Pikachu.
You are believing in the headcanon. Anyway, you ready?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna be taking a look at this trailer here in 3, 2, 1, go! Don't worry, we're gonna get some actual gameplay footage. This is gonna be like Pokemon Go, where we've not gotten a single bit of gameplay footage for that game at all. By the way, in case you're wondering, that is Pikachu speaking. He's legitimately talking throughout the entire game. I can't help but laugh during this trailer. Oh my god. I don't care what the gameplay's like. This is my kind of dumb. This is literally my kind of dumb. And I love it.
Oh.
We also have some additional information. We have some characterization for Pikachu, for the great detective Pikachu himself. You know, he is a famous detective, and he can talk. He's also not very fast. He can't use moves, and he can't even discharge electricity that well. So, essentially, he's a shit tier Pikachu.
Meaning?
He's Pichu. He's literally Smash Brothers Pichu who went and got a job as a detective. Because he also likes coffee, but he apparently has a weakness for beautiful women. I would say he's Sherlock Holmes, but that woman part is not Sherlock. So yeah, this it's so dumb, but I love it. And it's essentially kind of like a Phoenix Wright-esque game where you go around investigating cases, getting evidence, and whatnot.
Oh.
So yeah, I love this game. It's so dumb, but I love it. What?
Oh God.
What?
You know what I just thought of?
What?
It's Pikachu Noir.
Yes! Oh, yes, it is! That is a pun, but I don't fucking care because it works! Okay, if you don't like this game, you don't have a sense of humor. That's all I'm going to say.
I like the concept of the game. I hope the game is good.
Yeah, I'm just like a talking Pikachu who has all this personality to him. I'm just like, yes, I'm taking this. I love this. I love some Pokemon with some personality because we could use some more of that. Because the only Pokemon with personality in fucking anime, I think, is Meowth. Really.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone else has the one character trait, and that's it. That's really it about them. Anyway, that's pretty much it for articles. There was nothing else. Outside of that one Smash fucking release, but yeah, fuck that noise. It's a fucking port. It's a port.
Yeah,
it's a port. It's going to be a port. If you don't think it's a port, you're fucking delusional. That's all I'm going to say.
I know. It's a Smash made by Activision.
It's made by Namco Bandai.
No, hear me out. For the sure fact of they couldn't do a COD this year.
Activision, don't ruin other people's franchises. If you want to ruin a franchise, use your own. Anyway, releases. They're pretty much all February releases because we have nothing else for January. And there's a crap ton of PC releases, to be honest. So, starting off in 2 days? 3 days, actually. On 1st. Monday the 1st. Yeah.
Am I reading that right? Please tell me that it's not a thing.
Which one? Second one?
Yes.
That is correct.
That's a thing.
That's correct. Yep.
Oh my god.
Before we get to that one, we have Avion 4, Shadow of the Mist for PC, Cat Simulator for PC, Fish for PC, Sydney's World for PC, Tales of Symphonia, which I might actually check out because I'm kind of interested in the Tales of games. I think Symphonia is one of the good ones.
It is.
For PC, and Time of Dragons for PC. Oh, have you checked out Symphonia?
I'm not, but I've heard a lot of good about that one. So yeah, it is a good one.
Well, that one looks interesting. Zestiria looks interesting, all because of the whole fusion henshin bullshit in the game. I'm kind of interested in Zillia, kind of as well. I kind of like that whole dual storyline and some of the characters in that. But anyway, I think that name's like literally the last 3 Tales of games. So
I think so.
Coming up on the 2nd, we have Cobalt for 360, Xbox One, and PC. Call of Duty 3 Awakening for PlayStation 4. Crypt of the Necrodancer for PlayStation 4 and Vita. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth for PlayStation 4 and Vita. That got petitioned to get released in America. That got petitioned super hard to get released in America. So hopefully that does well. I've heard good things about it. We have Gravity Rush Remastered for PlayStation 4. Mega Dimension Neptina 7 for PlayStation 4. Fuck it if I pronounce it at that point. Nitroblast Blasters Heroin Infinite Duel for PlayStation 4. I think that is literally a female character anime fighting game, I think. If that's the game I'm thinking of. I want to say that's the game. Because I know there's a fighting game that has Asuna in it from Sword Art Online. And I think that's it. Anyway, we have Not a Hero for PlayStation 4, Blitzbreaker for PlayStation 4, Calendula for PC. I Blitzbreaker on PC. Why did I say PlayStation 4 for that one? Oops.
Because you were just on a PS4 kick.
Apparently, Dre for PC. I about said it again.
You skipped
it's
one,
spring
by the
again
way.
for PC. Did I?
Yeah.
No, I said Kendula for PC.
Oh yeah, you did. Damn it.
Okay. Pass the Guy PC, Sorcery for PC, and Tropico 5 Complete Edition, or Complete Collection for PC. Not edition, collection. Coming up on the 3rd, we have Fortified for Xbox One, American Truck Simulator for PC, Fortified for PC, Hieroglyphica for PC, and then Herbert's Island Adventure, Mouse of War for PC. Coming out on the 4th, we have Freeze Me for Wii U, Peg Solitaire for Wii U, Agatha Christie, The ABC Murders for PC. I don't even. And we have Astro Breakers for PC. You know what? I'm curious. What is this? If I can highlight it and fucking search for it,
no.
What is this nonsense?
Which one?
The Agatha murders or the Agatha one?
I think it's one of those point and click.
It's looking like one of them point and click ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of like the Sherlock Holmes games we've gotten recently. Anyway, coming out on the 5th, we have Crinkle Crusher for Xbox One, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 for PC, Red Comrade Save the Galaxy Reloaded for PC, Take the Dream 9 for PC? Is that 9?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was 9. And possibly the biggest release out of all of this nonsense, XCOM 2 for PC. I'll be talking about that in a little bit. Coming out on the 6th, only we have Dying Light The Following for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Coming out on the 9th, we have Alkenhein's Gun for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Arslan, The Warrior of Legend for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. I believe that's based off an anime. I believe. We have Assassin's Creed Chronicles. I assume the complete collection of those side games for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. In the release of Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia. Tried to burp there, but didn't come for the same consoles as well. And then we have Dying Light The Following, the Enhanced Edition, coming in the next 3 days on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but no PC release. Then we have Naruto Shippuden, etc. 4 coming out on Xbox One. Neverwinter Underdark for Xbox One. Unravel, which I think has fallen under everyone's radar because that was a game release that was shown off at E3, if you remember.
Yeah, I do remember that one.
Yep, coming for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. Firewatch for PlayStation 4 and PC. Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time for PlayStation 4. One of our favorite names to say on this list.
Sounds so stupid, but the game looks like it's actually a little bit on the complicated side.
Yep. Saloon for PlayStation 4 and Vita. And then We Are Doomed for Vita.
No, we're not.
Yep. Well, according to that, we are, so.
Oh.
Coming out on the 11th, we have Pasaldolo Rigasso for PC.
That works for me, because I don't know.
And we have Wayward Terran Frontier Zero Falls for PC. And finally, coming out on the 12th, we have Qbert Rebooted, the Xbox One Bleep Edition for Xbox One. I assume that's not supposed to be a beep, but fuck it. I was tempted to bring in a fucking actual buzzer sound for that, but nope, I didn't feel like it. I don't know if you want to add that in post-production with one of the stereotypical censor beep.
I probably won't.
Okay.
Because I won't think about it.
Okay. Defragmented for PC, Doors for PC, and Level 22, Gary's Misadventure re-release on the PC. Still gotta get those weird titles for games in there.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
There's only about one really noteworthy game, to be honest. Besides another Naruto fighting game. And the release of Unraveled under everybody's radar because everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, XCOM 2 comes out this week. I'm gonna go buy that. Because, all the people who make the Lawn War mod are gonna have mods available for XCOM 2 day fucking one. And before you ask,
why that sounded familiar.
Yeah.
Cobalt. I was looking it up.
You recognize it?
Yeah, it's one of the Mojang games.
Oh. Okay.
And apparently it's cross-platform. Steam 360 and Xbox One.
Yeah, but for those wondering like how that's happened, it's mainly because the Long War group are essentially kind of consulted on XCOM 2. Because Fraxis kind of went to them to like help make XCOM 2 because people really love Long War. But anyway, that's getting into my quick draw, which of course is going to be XCOM 2 because I can't do the quick draw I wanted to do because I'm stuck in the college this weekend because of bullshit circumstances outside of my control. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks, so I can't do my proper quick draw, so I have to default to the thing I'm probably going to buy next Saturday and may or may not have a series of Tuesday streams on it. I don't know. Last time I tried to go, I'm going to totally stream play this game, I got super burned out on it. Granted, it was a game that kind of was designed to be very easy to burn out on, and that was Battle Road War 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, XCOM 2 looks so fucking good. You can fucking pre-customize soldiers to get imported into your game. You can spend hours outside the game building, pretty much making your army, so when you immediately start the game, you can have immediate access to recruiting those soldiers and getting them prepped and ready. You don't have to spend hours in-game customizing soldiers. You can spend hours outside of the game customizing your soldiers and getting them ready to go. And it doesn't have to be your soldiers. You can customize VIPs as well. You can build your own like metafiction within XCOM 2 with this. And all of the gameplay stuff they've implemented, the stealth system, all of the mod stuff they've done for the weapons, the different classes and how they function, all of the risk and reward stuff for how you operate. It's, oh my god, it's so fucking good. It looks so good. So yeah, I encourage everyone, go pick up XCOM 2. It's really good.
Or at the least, if he does stream it, watch the stream.
Yeah. Watch me be one of like 5,000 people because fucking the crap ton of people on Twitch are going to be streaming XCOM 2. I guarantee you there's going to be at least 3 people I follow on Twitch. They're going to be streaming XCOM 2.
Oh, I guarantee the XCOM 2, if it doesn't beat out League, it will be very close.
Yeah. Like, this is the game. Granted, now the thing about it, 2 releases that were supposed to be listed on there weren't listed on there. Because I know of 2 releases that are coming out really close to that, and they might have just been the next week after that. Let me double check. Might have been that they just didn't update. Nope, that's because they're not quite there yet. because we streamed the 12th. Yeah. There's a little bit more of a gap there than I thought. Because the two releases I'm thinking of are essentially Fire Emblem Fates and Project Cross Zone 2. And they come out very close to. Like, Project Cross Zone 2 comes out the 16th. And Fates comes out the 19th.
Oh, so literally the next week.
And Cross Zone 2 and Fates are like 3 days apart, and those are both 3DS titles, and they are both tactical RPGs. And I am interested in both of them. And it's just like, why are 3 games coming out in February that I'm really interested in? Like, I could probably hold off on Project Cross Zone 2 because I haven't finished Project Cross Zone 1 yet. I should work on that. Granted, I should also work on finishing Persona 3 FES, but that might be after the spring semester's over and I have the summer to myself, I might go on a marathon of just finishing Persona 3 FES and just be like, I'm literally going to play this for like 6 hours a day when I'm not trying to record something or doing something else and getting this fucking game completed. It's like, I am finishing this game. But yeah, I could hold off on Project Cross Zone too. But I'm like, I really would like to pick up Fates, and I would also like to pick up the Collector's Edition just because that gets me all 3 versions of the game for the price of 2, plus an art book. So it's pretty much the best value, plus my 20% off at Best Buy gets like $10 off of that. So it makes it a little bit cheaper as well. And that 20% also applies to XCOM 2, so it's like, I get 20% off XCOM 2 as well. Like, that would be cool. Like, to give people an idea, that's $7 off the bat. Like, that doesn't sound like much, but I'm like, that's still something.
Yeah.
Like, that's nice to have. Like, an immediate $7 off. So yeah, XCOM 2 is coming out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for this because this is one of the games I'm like, the first real like game I'm excited for this year. So anyway, Tommy, you go. I'm done jacking off.
Well, my quick draws, literally, I have nothing else to think of to talk about. Wednesday show ideas have not been going over well.
Yeah.
I've got a dumb idea.
Are you gonna Kaizo it up with Gerard?
No. No. But I'm doing something equally crazy.
Okay.
Okay. Mario Maker has a bookmark site. Correct?
Does it?
Yep. It does. You can
Okay.
bookmark it on the site. Yeah. You know what my dumb idea is? I want to see if you can guess.
Can I look at the articles list?
You can, but it won't help you none. I want to see if you can guess my dumb idea.
All I know is it involves Mario Maker, so
yeah.
I assume we're gonna start playing some stupid dumb levels in Mario Maker.
Close. I'm thinking about letting you bookmark levels for me to play.
Really?
This will end badly.
Really?
I know it will. Yep.
Oh my god.
Complete blind Mario Maker.
Oh goody.
Yeah.
You're putting a lot of faith in me to find levels you can actually fucking complete.
It's not as complicated as it sounds because you do get the percentage completion rate on the site, and you do you get like the thumbnail and the over for the primary world.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can kind of see some of it, but it's not. You're not actually going to be able to play it to see because you don't have the game. So, yeah.
Like I said, that's a lot of faith in me.
Yeah. As it currently stands, it's going to be a YouTube series. If it gets popular enough, or I think it would do better stream wise, we'll shift it over to a stream. But yeah, either way, it's going to be Wednesdays. I think we still have to technically do another Dungeon Defenders 2 one, unless I decide that I'm just going to be like, you know what, I'm going to append something to the end of that where I kind of redo what I said there.
Okay.
Don't know yet. But yeah. So we'll either have. See, it is next week, ain't it? But, yeah. So obviously it won't start next week. It'll probably start either the 10th or the 17th. Not sure. Depends on what I feel like. So yeah, this will be interesting. And yeah, I'm well aware of how this is going to end. But anyhow, that does it for mine.
Oh, by the way, Marvel Heroes now has controller support. Apparently, they launched Marvel Heroes 2016, and it has a whole bunch of updates and shit.
I guess that's all right. I don't know.
I should be more in the Marvel Heroes, but I'm not.
I should too, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
It's that kind of deal. Alright,
Well, that'll pretty much do it, and we're done in like half an hour to an hour, aren't we?
little over an hour.
Yeah, that's fine. But there wasn't really that much to talk about.
Not really, no.
So, yeah, in 2 weeks, we're going to pick up once more, and maybe we'll have more interesting news to talk about. Probably not going to be as interesting as fucking Great Detective Pikachu, but you know what? You never know.
Don't you mean Great Detective Pichu?
Yes.
I am embracing that.
I'm just going to keep calling him Pichu. He's not a Pikachu. He's a fucking Pichu that has evolved into a Pikachu and became a detective because he's terrible at Smash.
He got banned from Smash 4, so he had to evolve into a Pikachu and solve crime.
No, he got banned from Brawl.
Oh, it was Brawl he got banned from?
Yeah, he was a melee character and got banned from Brawl.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't even in Brawl.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought he was in Brawl too, but wow.
No, he only made it to... He was in Melee, and then that was it.
He was a one-hit wonder.
He was kind of like Young Link in that aspect. Yeah. He was kind of like Young Link in that aspect, where it's like, oh, he only got to show up in Melee, and that was it. But at least Young Link got to be reincarnated into fucking Toon Link. Pichu got nothing. He got left in the fucking dust. But I guess he got to be a detective now, so yeah, it works out. So yeah, 2 weeks more TG Saloon, but between then and there, we have all the stuff on the YouTubes with, the Smash and the League terrible play and fucking, oh god, what else do we have at this point?
Payday 2.
Payday 2.
Subspace Emissary.
Subspace Emissary. We still have episodes of that. No, that was what I was referencing. Besides, yeah, we have 2 Smash things actually. Smash 4 and Smash 3. I would say Splatoon stuff, but that ain't happening anytime soon.
Well, we're kind of on hold for that one because of Subspace Emissary.
Yeah. And Subspace Emissary is also on hold because of how we have to record that.
Well, and not to mention, we're kind of good until like the beginning of March. You didn't realize that, did you?
Nope.
So we ain't got to worry about it for a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize how
Yeah.
much fucking Subspace Emissary we recorded.
I didn't realize we were that far ahead.
Because I'm like, yeah, we recorded it. Like, we're not that deep into the game, to be honest. Like, we still have a good bit more of Subspace Emissary to go through.
Yeah, and we've still got to figure out if we can access that save file through NetPlay or not.
Yeah.
Because the save file exists. I can verify that one. I just don't know if we can make it work or not, though.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, all sorts of stuff on the YouTube, TG Saloon, and you can get updates on the Twitter, and by updates I mean just when shit goes live, because honestly nothing else comes out of the Twitter.
Yeah. It's a shame we can't change that.
It doesn't have that. I don't have much to say on Twitter at times.
I know.
The most people could get out of me on Twitter was replying to a couple of Shinta's comments about the fucking Ichigo movie. Because like he said something about like, but who's writing it? And I replied to him as a quote from Toei, if you knew, you wouldn't watch it. And lo and behold, it fucking went away. So yeah, no one wants to watch that. You know, except the people who are like, you know what? It may not be that bad. It might just be barely bad. But yeah. Plenty of stuff between here and there. So check it all out. YouTube, Twitter, I forgot what the third thing we plugged besides. Yeah, the site. I completely forgot about the site.
Kind of forgetting I did that in an outro, but oh
well. So, anyway, bye. Good night. See you 2 weeks.
As always, you can find the Gaming Saloon on our site at tgsnetwork.org. Don't forget to follow us on our social medias. On Twitter by following at tgsaloon, on Google Plus at google.com/plus, tgsr.org, and on YouTube at youtube.com/tgsaloon. Till next time.